Good afternoon, everyone. It's an honor to be here. I am Daisy Tanwani. I'm the founder and CEO of Pinkley, a homegrown modern Indian brand that retails and designs in India and 33 countries globally. If you asked anybody who knows me up and close to describe me, chances are one of the words they'll use is a fixer. I've checked. I like to put things together. Sometimes projects, sometimes businesses, and oftentimes myself. And that's why today I want to speak to you about kintsugi, the Japanese art of repairing broken pottery with gold. The idea is to not hide the flaws, but highlight them. The object becomes more beautiful for what it went through. And I believe life works in a similar way. When we break, when cracks appear, small or big, we get to decide what we fill them with. Courage, kindness, conviction, it's upon us. So today, I want to speak to you about my personal kintsugi moments. So I love to smile, and I believe it's my defining feature. My job involves a lot of out and about in public sphere, social media interactions, and on-stage interactions like this. And I thoroughly enjoy it. But it was not always like that. When I was young, I met with an accident. Thankfully, I came out fine. However, I disfigured my face a little cosmetically. At that age, you don't realize that looking a certain way is a big deal. My parents thought it's a cosmetic fix and can wait, and right now I should concentrate on studies. However, I had started to build insecurities because when you're that impressionable, every word said is not taken as lightly as maybe I would take it today. If I go back to my primary school, I hardly have any photos because I wasn't sure if I looked the way others wanted me to look. But then I think I was done hiding. If they thought I couldn't speak, I did exactly that. Speeches, extempores, debates, anything that put me on stage, I was up for it. It didn't fix my face, but it fixed my fear of judgment for life. Years later, when I could afford, I got everything fixed and everything was fine. But that was just a cosmetic fix. The actual fix had happened years before, when I chose to fix my broken confidence with courage. So my first crack taught me confidence isn't what you see in the mirror. It's what you decide to believe about yourself. A lot of you are here to know about my entrepreneurship journey, but I want to remind you, anything that we become in life does not happen in a switch of a moment. These are steps that are leading us to what we become and how we make an impact. The break that set me free. I was born in Jaipur, beautiful city. I love the city. Trust me, my business still has, my factory is in Jaipur, and I'm here almost every month. My first 17 years was spent here. However, I wanted to see the world. I did not want a city to limit who I was. So I announced that I want to go and study elsewhere. Now, I come from a family where no one has ever stepped out, let alone a girl. So like, what are you saying? Aren't there colleges here? The fact that you're being allowed to study is a big deal, and now you want to set out and, all by yourself and study. Every step I took forward in my research, in my applications, was met with 5 steps backward. There was stigma, there was resistance. Thankfully, my parents were supportive, but there was a lot of noise around, lot of questions around. But I had decided I had to go. On top of that, I said, I want to go to Bombay. Bombay back then was like this big bad city, and there's this girl wanting to do media in Bombay. Everybody was perplexed, confused. I was decided that's what I want to do. This was not just about the move. This was not just about moving from one city to another. It was about choosing to write my own story on my terms. It seems like such a small battle today, but to me at that point, it was the biggest one ever. I've learned sometimes the biggest break is leaving behind everything familiar to create a future only you can see. And I'll go back, tying this to entrepreneurship. You know, entrepreneurship is a very, very lonely journey. Ask any entrepreneur, then they'll tell you. We get to come to the stage when we've taken that path. You're not seeing those 10 years behind me. Those 10 years, at least 50% of that journey has been very, very lonely. A lot of decision making is a very lonely and very crucifying process. There is nobody to validate your choices. It's only your conviction that gets you to make things and build things. And this is what that little move prepared me for. I built a solid career. I was leading international businesses for Fortune 500 at the age of 30, and then I decided I want to drop it all to start Pinkley because I thought Indians were ready for original design, for good design at an accessible price, and I thought as a country we were done being just a manufacturing hub. You know, I've learned that before I walk into a room, my gender walks in first. And it's frustrating. Just because I'm a woman does not mean I don't have agency. I do. I thought I had made a steady career of over a decade and I did not need to prove myself again. But when I decided to start up, I was on ground zero all over again. Now, every time something breaks you, you have two choices. Either you cry about that break or you say, I am going to make that break my power. And that's exactly what I did. I chose to lead with my gender because I believe my gender is exceptionally special. When they say that we are multitaskers, it's a talent. It's a talent that helps us thrive everywhere we go. We are nurturing, and that's why we can build anything we put our heart on. And I built a 9-figure, profitable, bootstrapped business that designs and retails in India and like I said, in many places in the world, and employs about 1,000 people, a lot of them at the grassroots level. A lot of our rooms, a lot of our departments are led by women, not because I want to fill a quota, because I believe women can lead. Your gender is not a crack, it's the jewel of your crown. So this is to all the ladies and boys and girls. Gender, today the struggles are slightly lesser, but they are there. But you need to remember, you don't need to become masculine or somebody doesn't need to become feminine to do anything. All you need is conviction and hard work. So in 2019, we pivoted. We pivoted to a new category. We put everything we had, personally, professionally. I had loans running, and I said, you know what, all of it can wait, and this needs to get done first. My husband, we put all the money we had, and we literally invested ourselves in this pivot. It seemed like our last chance to get anything done. We launched the category in March 2020. And I saw the light come in. We immediately started getting celebrity orders. Our numbers shot up, and I thought the days of struggle were behind us. Pinkley was finally turning around. I was like, wow, this is the break we were waiting for. 20 days is all that we enjoyed this success. March 2020, 2020, I think it was 21st, that nationwide lockdown was announced. Everything came to a standstill. I froze. Even today, when I think about that time, I go numb because we had no financial runway, personally and professionally. We were sitting with huge inventory. We had put in everything we had. And I honestly didn't know what were we going to do. Someone asked in the team, what are we going to do? And I instinctively said, we'll do what we always do, just harder. And we did exactly that. We reconvened, we strategized, we opened all communication lines with our customers. We used every small delivery window we got, even if it meant that all of us in different cities had to go and deliver goods. We did that. I remember taking so many flights in those kits. I think there were sometimes in the flight there were only 15, 20 people. We got artisans to stay in our factory for months together so that the work can continue. Pinkley grew 600% that year. The year that looked like the year that was going to break us became the most defining year for the brand. 2020 was also the year when my beloved pet, and those of you who have pets, I hope you're able to relate, was diagnosed with cancer. We fought hard, but in 2021, we lost Uno. Uno was like first child to me, and she fought a very violent disease. No matter how well Pinkley did, it didn't matter. I was broken, and there is no, like, even today I can't speak about it with a straight face. Yeah, so it was bad. It's like, a rug has been pulled under your feet. You feel all happy, stable, everything is going fine, and then somebody up looks and it's like, no, you're going too fast, you need to be stopped. But this is not the way how it should be done, but that's how it happened. And I did what I know the best. I tried turning pain into purpose. I started rescuing, adopting, sterilizing, running adoption drives. To date, personally and professionally, I have rescued dozens of animals. We virtually support as a business and even in individual capacity, hundreds of strays. We participate in vaccinations, sterilizing drives, in awareness drives. If you go to our page, you'll find that. And, her loss left a gaping crack, but it was also the crack from where love came in for somebody else. Even the deepest shatter can become a source of light for someone else. I have learned through my journey, through building Pinkley personally and otherwise, that life breaks us, all of us. It is such a relatable concept, sometimes a little and sometimes a lot. And what we do after that, how we decide to put it together, defines our story. So the next time life cracks you open, don't hide it. Remember what Rumi said. The wound is the place where the light enters you, and that's how we all become our own individual Kinzuki masterpieces. Thank you so much, girls and boys, ladies and gentlemen. It has been an honor to be on the stage.